I think Vi Maokai is fine. And even if you try to wait for like phase 2 and say, well, they R5 did, so maybe we can phase 2 ban, maybe Hololive Esports just pick a third in the Jace spot. We'll have to wait and see, as Sejuani is going to be the ban once again, so same bans here for game 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's plenty of picks that Doran could have played and just died on the top lane.
Yeah,
so, you know,
play anything.
I don't think it needed to be the Jace, but things are going the exact same direction, and I don't see a reason why Hololive Esports wouldn't go Varus Ral here. I think it's really on T1 to adapt, but actually toying with the idea of securing the RE first, which, you know, it's pretty proactive to think, okay, what could they do to change things? What could cause more of a thing? And I actually even said in the last draft that RE League would have been a good 2-3 for T1, so Hololive Esports predicting that might be the change up and not even letting it happen. They really want this RE.
Good. Rel is like so strong right now. Aatrox is going to be picked again, so they weren't in threat of that, and they are going to take the Nico here instead of letting it get banned away this time.
And now they can take the Rel anyway, you know. We'll see if they go in a different direction. We'll see if they want to secure, because they have obviously dropped the Rel, but they may really want to get a good top matchup for Doran. They could go the Jace again, you know, it made sense in the comp, but it didn't really flourish that well. But toying with the idea of going the RE lead for themselves and securing this really strong mid-jungle. Not going the Rel for the previous game, things shaking up a little bit. Obviously a bit of value and be able to kick the Nico away. But just generally looking for a strong mid-jungle to carry them through. And we'll see how things pan out going this next phase. I imagine T1 may want to focus bans towards top lane picks, maybe get rid of the Jace, and potentially maybe even the Twisted Fate as well could be a decent ban.
Jace.
And Nico has to be banned. I'm sorry, not Nico. Nocturne has to be banned because it pairs so well with Nico. And Poppy, I've actually, you know, I've been doing some research recently. Poppy, pretty good in Lee Sin, I think.
We have some good...
We have footage on the subject.
Very recent, very recent. As early as last game. Nautilus also taken off the board.
Crazy it went this late in the draft. Obviously, in a lot of drafts, seen it banned very early on.
Rel? Still available.
You know, I would probably take top here and then just save counter pick for support, just so you can see what you want to do, and never give away counter pick to carrier. I'm of the opinion that's a safe one to take, and I think the Cassante is pretty fine. And if you do end up playing the game out in a similar manner to the last one, harder to dive than the Jace, I think, is a very safe statement to make.
That is for sure. Let's see what they decide to take here on the side of T1. Obviously, a lot of hard engage on their side. They might want something very reliable, such as a Rel. A lot of stuff taken away, you know, in terms of junglers in this game, trying to think what they want to pair. Well, it's just going to be Nico support.
Nico support.
Yep.
They go to Talia and they go to Xin Zhao. You know, I think that Talia is good into the Lee Sin. You know, there's a lot of dashes on the team of Hololive Esports, but I just feel like Karma and Xin Zhao is such a strong duo if they were going to go in that direction. Yeah, we'll get the Nico support, and, you know, even though it was obviously already locked in earlier, I think Hololive Esports get the payoff from seeing where everything is. Trying to decide what they're going for. They will settle with the Xin Zhao in the end. And I think a lot is going to come down to carrier trying to close the distance, because they don't have amazing engage on the side of T1, and they are dealing with a poke Varus once again. Yeah, I mean, not the easiest Rakan game. I think Nico and the Talia are kind of hard to play into, but Delight is just so good at Rakan.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're not really going to suffer in lane, if you know you have a lane where you're fine playing it, a lot of LCK supports like just pick the Rakan. It's good. It's good. You're
going to give Rakan to one support. It should be Delight. So kind of happy. He was even hovering it in game 1 and elected not to go for that and just played the Rel. And I'm sure he's going to be happy he found a spot to play it this time around. As excited to see Peanut now not on the Poppy but on the Lee Sin and see how he plays this pick out, as we're just about ready to hop on to the Rift for game number 2.
T1, oh no, who is that? T1 fighting! Yeah!
Hololive Esports!
Oh no, who is that?
On my fighting!
And it is going to be the Halo Blades Callista, so Imagine Lethality, which I think is a great call. I think in this lane matchup, you know, despite what I said, like, oh, you can pick for Khan if the lane's not too much of a struggle, should still be on Guma and Carrier to have the advantage in lane. They're going to be able to achieve prio, and if you land, like, the route from the Nico, and then you chain autos and a Q together, get the rend, and you can do a lot of damage. And to be honest, lethality is just so broken right now. The numbers you can get full build, you can have like 30% armor pen, like 90 lethality. Unless you're like a hyper tank, like a Cassante, you basically have no armor. And even the Cassante still actually takes a fair amount of damage from lethality. It's no longer like lethality was always like, you know, it just falls off super hard. It's kind of bonkers. And to be honest, you could just hit people on Cassante, just launch a Q at them from a while away, press rend, boom, job's done.
Boom, boom damage.
That's what we're looking for.
And he'll be looking to match that poke from Viper. Zeus, oh, that feels bad. 13 and 1.
Ruined.
The one loss. Unlucky.
Yeah, and Zeka 4-0 on the Ahri. It's obviously only recently come back in the meta, but you could see their adaptation on draft before T1 even changed anything. Kind of showed how highly they prioritized this pick, and I feel like one of the things they had issues in earlier the season was what to put Zeka on. You know, the Corki perhaps not the optimal decision in some of those games.
Yeah.
They are working for them, working well. I wonder which minion is Carrier. I wonder if it's the one that was running about really fast.
Impossible to know.
Erratically.
Yeah.
Just no way. Wait, is that Faker in the bot lane?
Yeah.
Whoa, crazy.
Hey, just TP'd bot. It's crazy. I don't know how he managed that. Oh, range minion.
This one's a bit more subtle because he at least went in the brush first.
Oh, he gets the root, and Delight's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to flash. And very early on, getting Delight's flash is going to feel very good.
Yeah, just using misdirection, and there went out of vision to turn into the caster minion. And Delight burning both sums. And now, I mean, this is actually great for Hard Life Esports because Faker's going to assume he's safe towards that side of the map, but they don't end up finding an angle, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now Owner definitely knows Peanut's nearby, but I don't think you win the 1v1. And Peanut, you don't have the support of your lanes, so good luck.
I see Owner's just trying to escort him out and not going to go for the flip, just wants to go for the trade in the 1v1. And Peanut's just kind of waiting. He's got a nice ward in that brush. That should help him out just a bit. Bot lane's still being pushed in, and now Faker is going to roam on over, and Peanut started his wolves, so...
Yeah, and if you look
this one away
across the map, T1 have triple lane prio so far. Just gives so much freedom to Owner, and Owner definitely had a rough game one, goes without saying, but also wasn't put in the best situation. Playing Lee in that game, not too fun, and Peanut currently experiencing some of that pain. Jungling, when you have no prio lanes, isn't the best experience. He's just constantly switching.
Yeah. Always keep them guessing.
Yeah.
You never know who it is.
I mean, we've all had that moment when you like load into a game where there's a Nico, and you're like, why is Caitlyn mid?
Yeah.
And you know the Nico's there, but you just like, you know, Caitlyn swapped it. No.
Brains.
Yeah.
Not even once. Said no zombie ever. Nothing's happening. I mean, this is nothing to talk about. Okay, let's take a look at this. On 14-4, Ahri is winning against everyone who's not Toby.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of unfair to expect Ahri to win against Chovy. Not many people are doing that right now, so... definitely a challenge. Doran struggling in this matchup. Zeus, definitely a lot of experience in this Aatrox if we've hit on many times, but 17 CS lead. It really comes down to how much farm Doran can pick up out of this wave, but certainly not 17. And he at least baited Zeus into taking 2 tower hits, so at least the health is a bit more even.
Yeah, that does count. And,
yeah.
Don't look at the minimap. It's fine.
I'm trying.
It's fine.
There's just a little white square. It's
okay.
Harrier as the, because he switched to the Callista.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Not supposed to do that.
It's not allowed, actually. He was just scouting in the river, you know? It's weird.
It just looks so scary. Like it's just gonna come down and consume Viper in the light, you know? This big white square.
Here comes Peanut into Owner's jungle, and he's spotted. Owner not gonna miss those. He's gonna land a Q onto the Drake, might just taxi on over. Not sure if he'll actually commit to doing it.
Yeah, there's been a bit of ebb and flow in the, you know, the lanes have gone in favor of Honor Life Esports now, so it does have a bit more prio, but still a little bit scary to start that one up.
Dorian level 6. Could always consider a trade, but you have to be so careful not to feed a kill over. You would just like to go even.
I have seen so many of these matchups where they just both pop ult, do some heavy trading, no one dies, and then just continue business as usual.
Oh, nice charm landed here from Zeka. He's a bit low on mana. Might have enough for... Yeah, he's got enough for a W. Kind of a trading ult there at the end of the day.
You know, if he had more mana, that could be a different story.
Well, that's one way to do it. He is so far under the turret now, and he's getting flashed on even, but he's very fast, so I don't think he's going to stick around.
Yeah, that play would have been sick if that was Doran's turret.
Yeah.
Kind of just
the wrong way.
Escorted Zeus to safety and went, here you go. But it does end up being a trade of summons, trade of ults, and Doran's Ghost is lower cooldown, so overall, he's the beneficiary of that play. Oh, the light.
Nice dodge there. Has his flash back up. Peanut just getting some trading damage in. Carry is pretty low at this point, but so is Delight. He's not going to land the Q either. As Peanut thinking about a steal, but that's 1v4, and I think he's just going to have to give this one up. And that he will. 2-1 big commitment to that first Drake, and they get an Inferno.
Yep, so nice little early payoff. Able to get that one. It's Chemtech. Dragon second as well, so won't be a Chemtech Soul. Even though it really didn't dismay Honor Life Esports, so they picked up the worst Soul last game, but definitely higher prior here. And I feel like when you have this lethality, Calisto is just so strong. Like, Calisto's already strong early, but this just feels even more extreme. Very easy to set up these early dragons.
Faker charmed up again. Trading pretty heavy in the mid lane between these two. But at the end of the day, Zeka is ahead on farm.
Yep.
By 7.
That's a whole wave plus an extra one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hasn't been a ton of activity, and I feel like Owner's been kind of challenging Peanut in the jungle, but not too much to come from it. I think that was the light hanging around out the fog of war. Just going to help push the wave in, but nothing much more to come from it. And Carrier starting to get cheeky on the map.
Yeah, might as well get a big reset like that around the dragon time. As
oh, it's back to this again.
see Carrier's
I just remember when we had the Nico jungle last summer, and Canyon was just like spamming it.
Yeah.
And he'd like just so obnoxiously so that it was just permanently like there was just like an emoting whoever. I think it was Leona who was copying one game and he was just spamming them non-stop. Oh, Peanut.
Hey, it's 4 gold.
Yeah, you paid off.
Nice. That is Owner's blue buff, it turns out. Wasn't 100% sure, but now we know, as he has secured it both times.
You know, not as much action this game, especially considering we had like the early dive in the previous one. Both teams are kind of eyeing each other up, but not really finding too big of windows. I don't imagine they're going to go for a dive here.
Yeah. Maybe if Faker decides to make a move on Estelia or something, then you can commit, but...
Look, he's right there.
Yeah. Maybe they think that. Maybe they're getting real scared about it.
That's the fake Faker.
Oh no, not the fake Faker denied of his back.
Yeah.
It's fake carrier.
Fake carrier, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
That works.
That is what it.
And that's the only player. That's the only player it works with.
Yeah. On the whole rift.
Yeah. Nice. Getting the hard-hitting analysis here, you know.
Yeah.
Down to naming conventions in this one.
Nothing else is happening.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at who has the most gold. It's...
You know, I was looking
Zeka?
through it. I didn't get time.
I think it was Zeka.
Probably is highest, yes. Peanut is here.
Doran gonna pull him back to late. Also here, Zeus in a lot of trouble. He's got some help on the way, but flashed on with the charm and just no Qs available. First blood goes over to Peanut once again. And yeah, the rest of them just a little bit too late on the rotation.
Yeah, a lot committed there. You can kind of see the light was in a rush to make the play happen before they got collapsed on, but ended up missing his W there onto Zeus, so had to burn the flash. But I'm going to say it, if that Q hit from Guma, we could have been seeing like a solo kill, potentially. He is doing ridiculous damage right now with that ability. Obviously maxing it with lethality with a Ghost Blade completed. I think like Q Rend would have just done half of Viper's remaining health there. Just like Q instant Rend, no autos.
Yeah. Could have happened, but instead Viper just dodged it. Does have the boots. And he is behind about, 17 CS at the end of this wave. Not a great feel for him. Meanwhile, trying to set something up in mid. Faker does have his flash. Might rely on Zeka to get this one started. Although here comes Peanut now. The immediate flash comes out. Good respect from Faker, but now that Talia is flashless.
Yeah, I mean, I think you take that if you're Peanut. Being the summoner without committing too much. Obviously, worse than that is if you flash and Faker flashes and then you're just trading. But Peanut pretty far behind it.
Ooh. And now Zay's got a flash and he's getting TP'd behind. I don't think he even realized, but now he's trying to trade here on a door and he's so dead. Charm
nice now.
Rings true. And again, this time Doran's actually being played around a little bit.
Yeah, that means he's got good setup on the Aatrox, and that's 2 times in a row Zayas has been taken down. T1 will move towards this dragon. Faker's going to TP in as well, and I think with the fact that Ari's being the ult, I don't see Honolulu Esports contesting this.
Yeah. We'll have to see what the soul is at the end of this, but Doran is going to pick up 2 plates solo.
Yeah, 2 plates and a kill, pretty decent reward, and it is a Mountain Soul, so very high value. Not too many like massive tanks in it, but I feel like Mountain Soul, it's just good for everyone.
Yeah, it's just a good soul. Everybody's going to be building some resistances, and if you can get the soul, you get the shield on everyone.
That is a lot of damage.
Yeah.
No rend, even.
Light doesn't resist that very well at the moment.
Yeah, he's a little bit vulnerable to that armor. I mean, that lethality. He doesn't have armor, hence he's vulnerable to that lethality. Yeah.
Vulnerable to armor.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
So, Hololive Esports, 2 setups in the top lane, and that's about it. Couple of Drakes going into the pockets of T1.
And I think we've seen this sort of situation before where Zeus goes 0-2 early and then just re-emerges later into the game as kind of a monster. It has been kind of one of the hallmarks of this Aatrox pick. I feel like T1 haven't been playing around topside that much so far this season and kind of just satisfied and happy that if they early pick Aatrox, Zeus will eventually be a threat. So we'll see if that comes to fruition in this game as well. But now their team's setting up around the top side, looking towards that Herald that's spawning soon.
Yeah, pretty good setup for...
You want to just start up immediately. Everyone with Doran is here, but Doran does have TP.
Yeah, he's ready if they do need him. And this is feeling like old times, just flipping for the Rift Herald, and he's dead. Peanut just gets 100 comboed from there. Guma nearly dies as well to the poke from Viper, and now he's kind of out of the fight, as now this front line is just being chipped away at. Owner is going to get that Crescent Guard, though, and a big Nico ult from the bush, but he's only a support Nico. Carrier is eventually going to go down. So it was some nice CC, but that was about it. Doran now in the front line, though, is kind of alone against the wall and the rest of T1, and that will be a favorable trade for T1. They might be able to pick up this Rift Herald, although...
Yeah, I don't think they have the health bars to do it. They opt to go for a reset, but Peanut taken out first, giving T1 the momentum in that fight. Yeah, maybe if Viper just flashed to the left for some reason, that would have hit him, but not quite in range there. Nice attempt by Faker, though. And a swing and a miss. Oh my god, just the fact you can just Q and just one-shot the casters is insane. And yeah, Peter got banana bushed.
He did.
Just got one shot with no ability to play the game. We did see the ult from Viper and the Charm chunking Guma out, so... But this is the thing with this lethality Callista, you don't need to be in auto range, so even though he's low, he can kind of just sit back, occasionally auto, throw some Qs out on key targets, and still contribute to the fight.
Yeah, I like the wall too.
It's that cute.
Yeah, that's fine. Eventually, the Cassante is killable. You know, you might think he's not, and that would make sense, but they do eventually take him down.
Yeah, today are pretty good in a Cassante altogether. Just the Unraveled Earth having a ton of value, and Guma now has opportunity finish, so 2 items in this Callista, and the Lethality Callista just spikes so hard early.
Just zoning away Zeus, I guess. Peanut, not even... I mean, he went onto that so early, it's not even like he was trying to bait him under the turret or anything. Just trying to zone him away. Give some extra time for Doran with this turret.
Yeah, they are the only ones to have any Void Buffs with 3 in pocket. It's a little bit extra damage to tower. Definitely helps a champion like Cassante, who's not the best tower taker. But gold lead slim in favor of T1. Not much there, but now they're Dragon in a minute. It is that mountain. It is going to be a high priority one. We'll have to see which team can kind of get the setup for it. Hunter Life Esports already moving towards it. And potentially Peanut looking for something there.
Yeah. Peanut and Delight, but Delight is on vision.
There's no flash in Guma, so if you do kill him...
Carrier, maybe? That's a clone.
Yep, didn't get the real one there. Always
Yep.
nice to face check. You know, it's one of the saddest things when you're playing support and you have to face check and just get one shot. So nice to be able to send in your clone just to do it for you.
Yeah.
Not the most ethical, but it works.
It's fine.
And now they've kind of given over control off the Dragon area. And I feel like Hunter Life Esports can't really afford to give this one up. They don't have the Herald either. I guess maybe they're trying to control mid so the Herald can't just get slammed by T1, but I'm not sure how much progress you're going to make on that.
Well, they're taking control of this brush, at least. And they are situated in the banana brush.
Yep.
The Dragon banana brush.
They still have a control ward for Peanut that they can place down.
Yeah. See T1 trying to take over that part of the map. Meanwhile, some nice trading here. We don't have Leandri's for Faker in this game just yet.
Yeah, not quite there. Not quite really cutting through. We do see the TP from Zeka a little bit away, but wanting to get into the fight while catching that mid wave.
Yeah. Already a bit of damage. Decent amount of sticks in the Dragon, but actually, and now they're gone.
Viper's just firing piercing arrows from this brush out of vision. So hard to deal with him in this situation.
All right, we have a wall. Doran up against that said wall, just running around, reloading, getting ready. There are the chains, but that is a Xin Zhao. Now Peanut desperate to try to get into the pit as the Q comes in and he swipes early. It's not going to work. T1 take down the Dragon, and that is a win for them. They've also got this Rift Herald in mid to try to get a push. I don't know, just use it to tank it up. Meanwhile,
yeah, not going to get that much value from it ultimately. I think they could have just rode it in. The knockback from the Herald when you bounce out of it is so long. I think you're probably okay, but they are conscious. Zeka still has ult, so does Delight, which kind of leads on to my point about that fight. Hunter Life Esports never really got an opportunity to engage. They never really looked for it. They did fire some damage on Iona, but that was about it. And this wall, I think, was super high value from Faker, separating Doran off here. And everyone was kind of cautious not to give an opportunity to ult them over. You can see Iona backs away, and Doran gets chunked out. They try and put damage on Iona, doesn't work that well. And still, you know, Zeka and Delight not really making much of the situations.
yeah. Drake went down to like 24. So very close on the steal from Peanut. Got a nice amount of burst coming in here onto Zeka. So I swear he dashed through those rocks, but I guess he already got stunned.
Yeah, we got knocked through, so it's fine.
Yeah, totally okay. But he did have the Spirit Rush. And yeah, I mean, now T1 on Soul Point at this point in time, just one Mountain Drake away.
Great position to be in, honestly. Now really trying to cement control the map by taking this mid tier 1, but Hunter Life Esports are not letting it go.
Yeah. It's a very nice standpoint for Avaris to kind of hang around and have the protection of the tier 1 to just be a bit of a turret of his own. Now Zeus, he's got some help from Faker, but we have lots of rotations coming down to the bottom lane, actually.
Oh, no.
Doran up against a wall, and the rest of T1 is going to get a double knock-up in, and it all out now on a Faker. He's got Rakan nearby. Delight, a rare miss, actually, on that knock-up, but it might still be enough as Doran is going to take him out. Meanwhile, in the jungle, a big fight going on here as well. Peanut going to be taken out, and Doran eventually will go down, so now T1 charging up the bottom lane. As Viper not able to do enough.
Yeah, and as you said, Delight not been 100% on this Rakan so far. Zeus just doing so much damage. Once again, even though he got set behind in lane, still feels like he's making pretty big impact in these fights. And Peanut going from POG to really not a solid performance in this one on the Lee Sin. Lee Sin seeming kind of cursed in the series.
Yeah. Lee Sin, it can have value, but I think these teams are good enough to utilize some of the picks that can do well into it to a high level.
And you know, I respect you, Brendan, for not mentioning the Rel. I thought you were going to bring up there and be like, hey, imagine if you could have picked another pick in this situation.
Well, Rel.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
And in this situation, you know, double knockup from Doran, pretty nice. And then Delight, this is the second time he's just not been super sharp on it. Normally something he's really good off. And I'm not sure it would have made a massive difference to the outcome, but it would have at least made the kill quicker and potentially changed things around. But yeah, you can see in the rest of the fight, Peanut ends up getting taken down. And I just think this, right now, Guma on this Kalista is so powerful. And if he is able to get a Q on someone, maybe a couple of autos, there is no one really who can withstand the damage apart from Doran. He's the only person who has any semblance of tankiness against this pick.
Yeah, and so far what we've seen out of him is a lot of split pushing. You know, he was trying to be there for the Drake fight, but got put up against the wall and wasn't able to zone enough for the team.
Yeah, I actually think something that's been really good is they've put the wall behind the Cassante and be very cautious about like getting anywhere near so you can like flip into ulting you over the wall.
Yeah.
That's like the worst case scenario when you're playing into Cassante.
Well, we have this Drake in about a minute. See how Life Esports trying to make their way into this area of the map once again. Try to take it over.
I think last time we didn't see them use a lot of their engage tools. The poke maybe came down a little bit too late, like they got some late poke on Owner. I really need to see them start putting down the damage early on. Particularly, like that's the thing is that yes, Guma can do a ton of damage with his lethality build, but his range is nowhere near Viper's. And you're not going to be able to just consistently fire off long-range arrows to chunk people out. So I want to see Viper get value out of that. He doesn't have the mana immunity yet, but does have the fully stacked here.
Okay.
2 big ults traded. I would probably say the Ahri ult more important though for the fight.
Yeah. You know, if this were a mid-Nico, maybe could say differently, but at this point in time, Zeus in the top side, we do have the Chains of Corruption on the Owner just to delay his impact on this Drake, and they're just going to turn around. Carry is almost dead. It's now Home Life Esports. They just want to take the fight here. They don't even care about that Drake, but now the rest of T1 are coming in, and Zeka, he doesn't have an ulti, he doesn't have a flash, and he will go down. Faker in a lot of trouble, though. He's going to be taking out some low health bars as well, as here comes Doran, going to pull in Owner and keep him around the Crescent Guard. Is not going to help against the Cassante, who is assassinating this team. Zeus trying to go for the 1v4. That is not going to work out as the rest of your team is dead.
Doran playing that fight so well, managing to get that double knock-up at the end. You know, I feel like T1 lucky to get away with 2 members with Guma and Carrier still alive. Zeus was pretty healthy, but that bot lane easily could have gone down there. And regardless, Home Life Esports deny the soul, but also showing they still have a lot of fight left in this game. Delight as well. This was a much better team fight from him. You know, a little bit critical of what he did before, but they switch off the Dragon, looking for Carrier, who's hard to pin down. But Delight charms Owner, knock up onto Guma, and then gets a charm on Faker and Zeus on the back end. So huge value there. Unfortunately, Zeka without the ult doesn't have too much value. But we see as the team are chasing down Faker, Doran, he's just in the mix and he's completely fine with it. But aggresses onto Owner, finishes him, but then gets this beautiful knock up to the side on 2. So well played by Life Esports. And after, I'm going to be real, a pretty subdued game for them, we're seeing that life back in them.
Yeah, gives him a nice chance. I mean, this game is far from over. Yes, T1 are sitting pretty comfortably, but the fight is going to leave them kind of scratching their heads a little bit, I'd say. Now, they had a pretty decent angle from Zeus. The wall was decent once again. But just kind of got Cassante at the end of it.
You know when I saw him dashing about, I was like, remember they nerfed his dash speed?
They did, yeah.
Doesn't feel like it.
Chains down.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. Stop Varus ulting the Xin Zhao. It's just not working. This is like the third time. The first time, at least, they chunked him, but the 2 times since, I mean, that time missed because the Merc Treads meant the stun didn't even last long enough. Speaking of stuns.
Okay.
You know, fast reactions from Zeka, but it just never feels good. This is like the second time in a row he's just burned his ult defense.
Yeah. Now you don't have your ult, so...
Yeah, I mean, it is so low cooldown with Malignance, but... And at least this time there's not anything to fight for specifically soon, but yeah, definitely not the best feeling.
Yeah. Nice little angle, I guess, from Faker to spot him out. I guess maybe there was a ward over the wall. Not sure exactly how he saw him, but either way.
Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, perhaps. Just knows where all the enemies are at all times.
Yeah, he saw Zeka walking over Vision like 47 seconds ago and extrapolated exactly where he'd be.
TP.
They really want to keep that mid-tier 1 alive. Like, this is the second teleport they've committed to keep that mid-tier 1 alive this game. Both times Doran has TP'd in, and he's like, I'm not giving this over. I'm not sure how you're going to get a third teleport into defend. It's pretty low on health, but for now it's still alive.
I mean, they hold on to the turret. They keep Viper on his post, which is just in mid, clearing waves and holding onto it as well. But now you don't have Doran in the side lane for a potential Baron play. Not sure if T1 really want to go for the Baron at this point in time with the game this close.
It is T1.
It is, but I don't know, especially after that last fight. I'm not sure how confident they'd be.
Yeah, I feel like it's only situations where if T1 are winning...
Owner?
Oh man, the 4th time. Come on, Viper, please. I feel like if T1 are winning, then they want to go for a Baron so they can get an advantage to close out the game. But if T1 are behind, then they...
Onto Guma. There's a lot of people around, but Peanut doesn't seem to care. Look at that damage follow-up from Viper, too.
Yeah.
And now Guma's just out of the fight. He's just so low now.
Yeah, they could go for this potentially. I mean, he's going to have to recall and teleport... walk back in and have teleport.
Okay.
You know, that would be a pretty good tool to have for the Baron.
Everybody is way overexcited right now, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
I actually think this is scary for Honor Life Esports because Guma's making his way over. They don't have Viper or Delight ult. Those are big cooldowns not to have.
Yeah.
And this is
not from the top lane.
This is not a fast Baron.
Yeah. It's a slow Baron, in fact, as now the wall is going to come in. They are going to try to turn this one around. Stun from the rocks. Bit of damage into Owner, who will struggle a bit into the poke before he uses that ult. As here comes Carry, gets the double knockup and the root down onto Zeka. He will go. And look at this. Doran also isolated. Life Esports, they wanted this fight. They asked for it, and T1 said, hell yeah, we'll go for it. As into that backline goes Owner. Viper is going to go down, and Delight will meet a similar fate. That's a very broken up one this time around, started by Carrier. It's looking good for the side of T1 as Peanut still on the run, but...
Yeah, I think he's going to keep running. I don't think he has a chance of getting back in this Baron pit, and a great fight from T1, a great angle to punish. I really think the lack of the ult from the Varus and the Rakan makes such a big difference in Honor Life Esports team fighting power. No real opportunity to get down poke, and Zeka misses that initial charm, which allows him to trade heavily on him. Faker kind of corrals them in, and this is such a beautiful setup with the not only Zeus threatening from the flank, but then Carrier ends up threatening over the wall. And there was a ward, but he was just so quick to implement the combo. You know, we see the Cassante get focused out, and then Zeus is just causing mayhem in the backline. And this flash triple slow from Owen, a super high value.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't even think they should have been there. But they had control of the Baron pit. They wanted to turn, but the second everything misses and you're just getting engaged upon by sticking around for too long, things are going to go south very quickly. And now T1 with the Baron, trying to make a fight here is Humble Life Esports on the Mountain Soul, but you're losing turrets, you're losing control of the map very quickly.
T1 don't need this dragon. You know, obviously, Humble Life Esports a long way away from Soul. Oh, this.
Yeah, they're going to catch out Zeus, and this time the chains get huge value as he even flashes at the end. I know Aatrox is strong, but Yeah, he was pretty dead at that point in time.
Yeah, a lot more value. Varus ulting the Aatrox instead of the Zinzao, looking like a good angle for Honor Life Esports.
Yeah, helps that he got caught out. Now, Doran is taking a bunch of damage, actually. Look at the poke coming out as now Charm comes out, but Doran immediately dies! And Peanut's super low as well. The damage from the side of T1 is just huge, and that will be Mountain Soul to T1.
Yeah, damage is getting laid down, and it feels like Honor Life Esports frontline just got overconfident with the situation, more focused on the dragon instead of the fight. The damage comes in, the cleanup is there, and T1 managed to pick up the Mountain Soul.
Well, I guess they might get Area.
Interrupted.
Yeah, very unfortunate timing. I think he might actually get away now.
I see. He changes to Talia, so it's Faker who dies, not him. That's how it works, right?
And they got fooled by the
Wait, he's
clone
away!
as well, and now Owner is coming on over. And Faker's here as well. Faker is pumping so much damage. I mean, look at his build. It's just damage. Like, it's kind of insane. It's now a very broken up fight. Zeka trying to do something onto the support, but Carrier is
still
so
alive.
free, and he will survive. Delight will not.
That's such a tilter, honestly. Yeah, Carrier managing to get away from that situation. Seemed like it was kind of a certain death for him, but manages to bait them out, drag them away from the fight, and now T1, they can just kind of look to take these inhibitors.
It's kind of like walking in the front door and nobody's home. They're like, huh, well, I guess I'll make myself comfortable on the couch.
Yep.
Nobody's here. And that's 2 free inhibitors. They had a snack, and now I guess they're just going to go home.
Baron's timed out, but they can honestly just move towards the bot lane, probably spend a bit of gold first, but then just push in while the super minions do the work for them. Guma has found a Peanut.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot of damage.
The whole team is there. I don't know if you're getting away from this one, Peanut. Nice kick, but Carrier has something to say about that. And that'll be the end of him. Just caught out in the jungle. Thought he could leave his base.
Yeah, and there's no time pressure on T1 here. They can just wait for the super minions to push in. And Honor Life Esports, this tower's already so low. They're dropping the wall.
Yeah, they're just diving into the turret. The wall comes down. He does get bounced on over, funnily enough. And Doran is quite tanky, but they're just hitting the inhibitor at this point in time as it's going to go down. They do take out the Aatrox, but it's 3 inhibitors down.
Yeah, very hard to get back from this position. Oh.
Okay.
Who hit?
Uh-oh, yeah, oh God, he's just dead immediately. Down will go the Nexus turrets. Looks like T1 has finally broken into the base. That's another pickoff onto Zeka this time. And down will go the Nexus. We have a series on our hands as T1 will tie it up and bring us to a game number 3.
Yeah.